Hey guys, it's me, Felicia Lizziel. I am your beauty, fashion, and lifestyle expert here on YouTube. I'm so happy you guys joined me, and today I have a cooking segment, and as you all know, we are all in quarantine. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you're practicing social distancing, and I hope you and your family are all well and safe, and I hope that continues. If you are, for those who aren't, we're praying for your healing and recovery. So, with all that being said, you guys are probably doing one or two things now. You're probably implementing some new rules for healthier eating, or you're probably eating all the cakes, pies, cookies, and donuts. I'm doing a little bit of both. So today, for those of you who are eating all the cakes, all the pies, cookies, and donuts, I have a peach cobbler recipe for you. And if you want to learn how to make this cobbler, stay tuned. Okay guys, so today we're doing something a little different. I don't know that I've seen a video like this on YouTube, but I'm sure there probably is one. There's nothing new under the sun. Plus, I haven't seen all the existential videos that have been produced and are being produced on YouTube. You get what I'm saying. There's probably one out here like that, but I like to think that I'm starting this trend. Go with me here. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I am going to watch this video with you, almost like a reaction video, but I'm gonna give you some Cliff's Notes along the way, and I'm gonna kind of walk you through it and talk you through as I watch this video. We're gonna watch it together. Y'all ready? All right, let's get started. So these are all the ingredients that you'll need, and the ingredients will actually be listed in the description box below. So these are all of your dry ingredients. Oh, and the half and half. And then these are all the tools that you'll need. Yeah, so let's get started, y'all. Oh, and you can use a food processor or a blender with food processing capabilities, like your Ninja or what else does that? Vitamix, anything like that. So we're starting off with 2 frozen bags of peaches. These are 1.4 ounce bags of peaches. I got them from Publix. You can do 3. If you do 3, add another cup of sugar. So we do, I'm sorry, another half cup of sugar. So we're gonna do 2 cups of sugar with the 2 bags of peaches. If you do 3 bags, do 2.5 cups of sugar, okay? And that's really just gonna get those peaches nice and juicy, and it's gonna create the syrup, and it's gonna sweeten them. Now, y'all, I know everybody loves putting vanilla extract in your peach cobbler. I do almond, 2 tablespoons. Then you're gonna do a cup of brown sugar. I know this seems like a lot, but go with me. Then you're gonna add the nutmeg. It gives it that spicy kind of savory taste. I do 2 teaspoons of nutmeg. Yeah. And then a tablespoon of cinnamon, and you can really do as much cinnamon as you want, guys. Then you're gonna do 2 cups of water. If you do 3 bags of peaches, I would do 3 cups of water. So 1 cup of water for each bag you use. Then you're gonna turn your eye on medium heat, and you're gonna mix that bad boy up super good. Give it a good old mix to get all the juices flowing and get everything covered in all the spices, and yeah, you're gonna bring it to a slight boil as well. That looks so good. I could eat that just like that. I know, I have a problem. It's the sugar. All right, so we're going to, after you bring it to a slight boil, you're gonna reduce it to a medium-low heat and then cover it. Now, in this part, guys, we are making our cornstarch slurry, is what I've heard it been called before, and this is gonna thicken your syrup. So we're doing 2 tablespoons of cornstarch to 4 tablespoons of cold water. So for each tablespoon you use of cornstarch, you're gonna use 2 tablespoons of water. So if you want to thicken and do 3 tablespoons of cornstarch, you use 6 tablespoons of cornstarch. And then you're gonna stir it up. It gets really hard and heavy. You just stir until you get it to a consistency where the fork will just move easily. And you can use a mini whisk or a fork. I mean, who has a mini whisk? Like, for real. Fork works just fine. Then you're gonna take your top off the pot and you're gonna pour that cornstarch mixture into your peaches. And y'all, it's like magic right before your eyes. It's gonna thicken right up. That syrup is gonna thicken up. Please like and subscribe, thank you. And you can even share if you'd like. All right, y'all, so as you can see, I've mixed it for a while and it's not quite the consistency I like. The syrup is getting there, but I like mine a little thicker. I do not like a runny cobbler filling. It's so disgusting and it makes your crust soggy. It's just not cute. So I did another tablespoon of cornstarch and 2 tablespoons of water, but then I only used half of that. So that got it right to the consistency that I wanted it, and girl, that looks so good. Now, side note, I did do 2 teaspoons of lemon zest and a half a lemon squeezed, okay? So we are doing our cobbler crust now, and we're doing 2 cups of packed all-purpose flour, y'all. 2 cups, pack it in there, and then just scrape it off. Pour it in your food processor or blender. I really need to invest in a food processor. That's the first generation Ninja, y'all. When they first came out, I got one, and I haven't upgraded. It's time. So here I used a cup of sugar. That crust was way too sweet for me. My recipe calls for a half a cup. If you like it a little sweeter, go with the cup, but that was too much for me. Then you're gonna add a tablespoon of baking powder, and that's just gonna help your crust rise. And then 2 teaspoons of salt. Then you're gonna give those dry ingredients a good mix. See, that's why I need a food processor, because y'all didn't see the off-camera magic. I had to kind of move stuff around and jiggle it. It's just, that's not even the best Ninja. They've made so many advances with the technology of that thing since then. All right, then we're gonna use 3/4 cups of butter. That's 1½ sticks. And we're gonna cut up into 1-inch cubes, y'all. And it needs to be cold, not frozen, but cold. As cold as you can get it. So don't use the butter that you've had in the door, because it's not as cold as the butter that is in your refrigerator. All right, so we're cutting it up, and that's a pretty messy job. Then you're gonna add your cubes to your mixture. Yeah, you're just gonna place them in the food processor with your mixture, all your dry ingredients, and then you're going to let's move it along, okay? Please like and subscribe. Thank you. All right, so we got all that in there, and now we are going to give our mixture a little pulse. And you want it so that the butter, you see little flecks of it, like almost the size of a grain of rice. Then I'm gonna pour in my half and half, 3/4 cups. And you pour it in as you're mixing your dough. So this is a real cobbler crust, y'all. A lot of times people will make a peach pie and they call it a cobbler with the lattice and the crust on the bottom and on top. That's a pie, it's not a cobbler. But it is a matter of preference. If you want to make this recipe with that kind of crust, buy the store-bought crust and just spread it in your dish. It's the same thing. I mean, but I just like a real cobbler crust. So you're gonna pour your peaches into the casserole dish. I use this dish because I only use 2 bags of peaches. Normally I make mine in a 9x12 casserole dish when I use 3 bags of peaches. And then I double my my crust recipe so that it covers a little more. Then you're gonna put 3 to 4 medium pats of butter into the peach mixture, and that's just kind of gonna make that mixture a little more rich. And a lot of you probably wonder why I put all the mixture into the peaches at first, and it really sweetens the peaches, and they don't have that tart taste when you put everything in there at one time. So now we're taking the dough and we're just putting little dollops, placing them all over the cobbler. That's the fun part, it's really messy. So now we're crumbling the crust on top. That's the very, very messy part of the video. And don't worry about covering every little part of the peach mixture. The dough, like I said in the captions, it'll spread out as it cooks, so you'll be fine. But I like to cover the majority of it. Then you sprinkle your sugar and cinnamon mixture, about 1/4 of a cup of sugar to maybe 2 tablespoons of cinnamon. And then you place that bad boy in the oven at 350 for 45 minutes. Now I have an old oven, it needs to be replaced, so I had to bake mine a little longer, but y'all, look how this came out. Your crust should be an amber golden color. Look at that, look at that. So amazing.